Hey everybody, Scott Jansen here. We are back with another 100K coaching program student interview. Today we have the incredible Jessica Gordon with us. Jessica has an amazing story about what she's doing with her therapy and her coaching business as well. And I'm not going to spoil the surprise. I'm going to let her talk about her timeline from only launching her business probably not even close to 60 days ago. And she has already massively grown her business in such a short amount of time. So I've been looking forward to picking Jessica's brain and find out what's going on with her business, and how she has done so well so far. So Jessica, thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be great.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Scott. You're welcome.
My pleasure. Well, look, let's start from the start. Let's go back all the way back before you even became qualified as an RTT practitioner. What was going on in your life before you decided to become a therapist?
Well, I do have a background in marriage and family therapy, and I've been a marriage and family therapist for I graduated in 2014. I was working different community jobs. My last job was about 3 years, was literally doing home base. So I was driving all over the city. I was working with kids that weren't really motivated. Some of them didn't want to engage at all. And it was very taxing. And I just wasn't totally fulfilled, although I do love the work of being there and, being a healer and a therapist, but that was not cutting it.
So how did you get into family therapist? And for those who don't know, what is a family therapist like? What does that involve?
So I went to grad school. I have a degree, a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. And it's more so focused specifically on learning about systems and being able to work with couples and with families, and just looking at everything from a perspective from systems. What you talk about in your 100K coaching program is systems. So we just go at everything from a systems perspective, which is very different from any modality, social work, mental health counseling, of therapy. And I absolutely love being a marriage and family therapist, but just the jobs that are available to social workers or mental health counselors, I just feel like that's why a lot of people get burnt out, because they're in roles that aren't all the way fulfilling, or that don't pay what they feel they should be paid. And that was me since I graduated from CTS, which was the name of the school I went to.
Okay. Why would someone hire a family and marriage therapist? What problems do they hire you to solve?
They will hire me if they had relational issues. That's probably the main thing. And a lot of parents, they want to fix their kids. They want to say, my kid, this is the problem, ABC, just fix them, not knowing that they have a part to do with this system too. So it's really easy to bring in the parent or the guardian then at that time. But more so anything that has to do with relationships, whether that's a couple or between a child and a parent, siblings, we definitely address.
Okay. And so you started doing that. And how long was this your own business, or were you working for a company or another therapist? How was that working?
I worked for different agencies.
Okay.
I've even done addictions work. I work in rehab centers, outpatient centers. And this last one, I was working for a contractor, and I was making the best money that I have made. And it was through an agency doing contract work for the state. So I was specifically working with children who are in the Department of Child Services. So children who are in foster care, or they got taken away from their parents or something like that.
Okay. And how long were you doing that for? How long were you doing that for before you started to feel like the burnout, like this isn't really satisfying any of my own goals?
It was about three years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was about 3 years that I did that. And again, there was other jobs. I worked at some agencies, some outpatient centers. And then I realized that doing contract work and being able to make your own schedule and doing home visits, that did feel free to me because I wasn't working in the office. My boss wasn't always down my neck. I was an independent contractor. So it felt really good. But then after a while, it didn't start feeling that good. It started not being as fulfilling as I would like for it to be.
Okay. So when you noticed that, what happened next? Was this like a transition you wanted to make, or did you want to just get a whole new career or job altogether? What was the thoughts?
Oh, to be honest, Scott, I almost want to say RTT sort of fell in my lap.
Wow.
Last year, especially towards the end of the year, October and November, it was a really dark moment for me. I was going through my own stuff. And I was just lost. I was still working, but depressed and just not feeling it. I had a bad half of the year last year. And so in January, and it's funny because, let me add too. I totally did not add this part. I also created a Healing Your Inner Child workshop in March of 2017, which was a really big hit for my community here, for the city. I did workshops about every other month to every 4 months, and they gained a lot of popularity. I also am a law of attraction coach, and so I did a few things in and out, but nothing really stuck. I did law of attraction coaching, Healing Your Inner Child workshop, and it wasn't till you help me streamline this and really help me, package and get together my niche and like, oh wow, like I can really be really profitable off of this. I wanted to screenshot and put it in the group. I have all these memories on my Instagram. It's like $25 a ticket or buy one get one free, and I'm like, oh my god, like Scott needs to see this.
Yeah, that's a massive growth compared to where you are now. So like when you started to launch these programs, you said the community really enjoyed it. What did they like about it? Is there just nothing like that in your community, or these people were very new to this stuff?
I would just say I think it's more so my delivery and my passion for the topic of shame. And it's so crazy. And I didn't put this in the group either, but I've been wanting to say my niche was in front of my face this entire time. I've specialized in shame. I made a workshop around shame. And I'm like, oh my God, that's it. Like I help passionate entrepreneurs permanently eliminate their shame. So I just think it's the way I break it down, because people, when they hear Healing Your Inner Child, a lot of people think, oh, I don't need that. But when I break it down and I talk about shame and I talk about the difference between big T trauma and small T trauma, then they're like, maybe I could
that
use
makes sense.
Yeah.
Excellent. So back to the RTT thing, you said that fell into your lap. How did that all come about? So that was after a bad half of the end of the year. What were you looking for, like a solution to your own problems? Were you trying to do more healing on yourself? How did it come about?
Yes, definitely was just, sort of sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was like, I need a solution. And I just so happened to be watching the Marissa Peer YouTube, and she has this ad. And about 3 years ago, I literally said, I should become a hypnotherapist, and more so with the interest of the subconscious mind. I studied the subconscious mind and just all that stuff. And I understood, like, man, it can be so much power if people can just get directly to the subconscious mind. So I don't know what it was about Marissa Peer's ad that just appeared to me and really spoke to me. I was like, okay, well, let me try it. Let me call. So I called, and no lie, when they told me the price to invest in the program, it took me 5 days to call. I was dodging her calls, her emails. I did not want to invest. I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a huge investment.
Yeah.
And I made the decision because I said, this will change my life. And I knew it would, and it did. And there's no price tag on your life being changed in such a way. So I said, let me call this lady back and give her my debit card number. So
yeah, excellent. So did you do the live training or the online training? I think there's both. Yeah.
Yes, I did the live training. However, due to Corona, our live in Miami was rescheduled. It's pushed back to the later part of this year. But luckily, they did a really great job of doing an online portion that allowed us to still get certified.
Okay. And during the course, what did you fall in love with? What did you take away from? What were the biggest aha moments for you?
Well, I think because I already had this workshop in
Mm,
healing your inner child, one of the big hallmarks of RTT is upgrading and healing your inner
mm,
child. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can bring just this portion to my healing your inner child workshop and really, make that be the highlight
hmm.
of it. So I think that's what really caught my eye. And then again, just myself knowing about the power of the subconscious mind and hearing all the testimonies, I'm like, well, it seemed like it worked. Hopefully it does work.
Yeah.
And I just took my chance on it. I just really felt called and pulled to go in that direction.
Okay. So did you had some sort of semi idea that you wanted to take what you learn as a therapist and add it to a business model, turn it into a whole new business, or was it just really about healing yourself first?
It was really about healing myself
Mm,
first. But I knew if I did that, it would put me in a position to heal the other people that I'm meant to
mm,
heal. And that was, and I say that often, like, I healed myself to help show up and walk in my purpose to help heal others that are, that attract,
hmm.
to me. So yeah,
Yeah, that makes
myself.
sense.
And I couldn't, Scott, I learned I'm big on self-help and, healing and all that. And I just really learned that from my past endeavors and other trying to start business. Like if I don't take care of myself, I'm not going to be this person that can
Mm.
help people like I want to. So I said, I got to get my own together and show up
Yeah.
for me. And if I don't, then I will fail myself and
Hmm.
fail all the people who are out there waiting for me, essentially.
Yeah. So at what point was it during the training or after that you thought, you know what, it's time to be serious about this and turn this into a business, turn this into something more productive?
You know, I remember the day, no lie. I was walking sort of where I'm sitting at right now. I was walking in this part of my living room and I said, I'm going to do this. At first, it was just like, when Corona first started and we had to go in quarantine, I was in here watching TV,
Hmm.
eating. And since I started your program, I literally have not turned on the TV like that. I go weeks without the TV because I have tunnel vision right now and
Hmm.
building. But at first it was just like another sort of certification
Mm.
or thing. And then honestly, when Corona hit, it took away from my hours. I literally had a $3,000 to $4,000 cut in my
Wow.
paychecks every month.
Wow.
And at that point, which left me very little, and especially from what I was used to making. So it almost was like, okay, I have RTT and I can be utilizing this and making up for this lost money because I don't know what's going to happen with Corona. So
Hmm.
that was just almost another push for me to get serious about it. And I remember telling my RTT mentor, which recommended me to you. She said, I told her, I said, Carrie, I want to do this. I want to go full out. And I never had that feeling with any of my other businesses. And I knew when I made that decision and that feeling, I just knew that I was going to do it. And
Hmm.
ever since that decision, I signed up with your program. I haven't been binge watching Netflix. I follow your instructions to the T. I've gotten so many clients. So yeah.
Excellent. So when you made that decision to run the business, do this seriously, it was like, you know what, you were sort of put in a place where you had a choice, but you didn't, especially with the coronavirus hit. It really ravaged a lot of people. What was the biggest motivation for you to make the business work right at the start and really commit to it?
I would say, I've 10K. In 2000 and at the end of 2017, I had my first business coach / law of attraction coach. And ever since then, I just had this 10K number in my head per month, 10K per month. And I knew I can do it. I thought I was going to do it a long time ago. I didn't know how it was going to come, but it just all came back to me like, I know that I can make money from this. And I had already been following your lives and seeing your YouTubes. And it was just something within me that knew that I could be profitable out this. And plus, it is a blessing that I already had like a Facebook following and Facebook platform. And it wasn't really, really huge, but it was definitely big enough. And I was already being talked about as being this inner child healing expert. But again, charging $25 or not showing up or posting, you know, food on my Facebook page or posting this on my Facebook page. So now I'm just very intentional, and it's a huge difference.
Yeah, because I think at some point it was either indirectly or directly, you had messaged me or left a comment saying, I'm about to graduate RTT. I've got like a week or so left. I'm diving straight into your program. And as you can imagine, I hear this a lot. Okay, everyone says this. And then, you know, I get the notification that, you know, you've enrolled. And man, what happened 30 days later after that, which I want to get into, has just blown my mind. I don't think even that was possible, which is awesome. So you decided to take action on the business. You took this thing seriously. You had the motivation. You dived into the program. I mean, you'd already been trying businesses before. Why did you need to go into a business course? Why couldn't you just take the skills you had before and just apply it with the RTT stuff?
You know, you just really spoke to me, and I felt very confident that this is what's going to get me to my 10K. This is going to make me feel confident and ask for the offer that I know I'm worthy of. And I just felt that. I just really gravitated. I just really love how you're straight to the point. There's no extras. And so that I just really gravitated towards that. And yeah, I knew it was time.
Excellent. So you dived into the program. What did you start to notice immediately? Because I can sort of work out, speaking to the students, where they are in the program, what's going on, and you took off. Like, you put your foot down and you just dove into this. What did you started to notice, you know, within that first 30 days of actually launching your business? Because you made a post, I've just launched my business 30 days ago. What did you start to notice? What were you applying to the business, and what was happening?
What I noticed was one thing that I did that kind of, I did this on my own before signing up for your course. I started getting people excited about RTT. I started talking about it. I started educating people what it looks like, and just saying, I'm about to become a hypnotherapist, and just sort of getting people's wheels turning. So I think that was very, very helpful. And I cleaned up my social media page exactly how you recommended. And I noticed that when I look for marketing gurus or business coaches, when I go to their page and you say it, you know, your potential clients are going to stock you. And I do the same thing. And I feel most comfortable when I go to people's pages and I see their lives, I see their posts, I see, you know, the professional cover photo, their business, their bio link, and it just makes you feel that they're a professional. They know what they're talking about. And I wanted to replicate that. And I remember telling my friends, like, you know how we go to people's page and we can tell the difference? Like, I want to be that page where they scroll and they're like, oh my God, like, this is what I've been looking for. And so just following your advice on how to set up my page, how to go live, when to go live, the announcements versus, you know, just the different inputs that I put in. So I was just sort of playing around with that, and I got so much engagement and so many free strategy calls booked. And like I said, while I was telling you earlier, now it's to the point that I don't have as many strategy calls as when I first launched, but now I have way more yeses. And
that's way more important.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I'd rather have less strategy calls and 100% yeses than double the amount of strategy calls I need and half the yeses.
Yeah.
So
no,
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, so that is a wonderful thing, because it's starting not to feel so overwhelmed, and people are starting to notice the reputation. They're starting to see my testimonies and the videos, and they're ready to commit. And I love that.
Yeah, that's it. You're turning people that might have been non-believers or stalkers, as people stalk you, and you're allowing your content to turn these people into customers. So instead of just showing up, posting random selfies, trying to get attention from people, posting food, on your Facebook, you're posting relevant content that your potential clients sort of get stuck with. They can't get it out of their head. And instantly that puts you at that point of being that expert, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you officially launch the business? What was the date?
It was May 11th. That was my official launch. Before then, I was doing practice clients with my friends and stuff like that, but I put my job on April 30th.
Wow.
And you know what? I wasn't even nervous. I knew that it was going to work out, especially, honestly, your program gave me that confidence. Like, I know if I follow this to the T, I know I will get, even if I just bring in $4,000 or $5,000 this first month, that will match my income currently, and that will be something that I at least can continue to survive and live off on. So it was May 8th. I quit my job April 30th. I was already posting testimonies from practice people, and then on May 11th, I officially launched my calendar. So I made it this big deal. I did this countdown, and I think that really got people's attention, because when I opened my calendar, I had a lot of bookings that very first day. So yeah, May 11th. Nice. So I wish I could do, May 1st through June 1st. Yeah. But then I'm like, really, I have to go by this 11 date to really see how a full month looks. So.
Yeah. So May 11th, you launched the program. 30 days later, what happened?
30 days later, I reached 10K. Actually, it was a little bit over 10K. Yeah. It was about 11K because I didn't include the snapshot from my Stripe account. I didn't include other methods of payment, my PayPal, Cash App, or whatnot. And I just couldn't believe how it was growing. Like, I'm on my Stripe and I'm taking people's cards, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And just to show up and be confident in asking that, and knowing that my worth has grown, because I couldn't ask for this price tag, just in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, I'm ready to increase.
Yeah. So what was it like for you to double that? I mean, you had the goal for $4,000 to $5,000, but you hit 11 plus. What was that like for you to have that realization? Like, wow, I just did this. This actually worked.
Yeah, it's almost like a pinch me, is this real moment?
Yeah.
But it's also like, Jessica, you've been preparing for this for a while. Like, you set your intention to make 10K for a while, and like, it's here. Like, be happy and fully accept it. I think a lot of times, sometimes we might push our blessing away, or the reality, because it's hard to accept the reality. So I really had to like sit there, the big leap. That whole concept of, reaching past and going past your glass ceiling. And, and it honestly still feels like I'm still adjusting to this new normal, but I'm welcoming it in as much as possible, because it is here to stay.
Yeah. So what's the offer you came up with? And let's talk more about your niche. So how did you, being that you've done some past work with this type of niche before, how did you settle on the niche that you're working with now? And what is that niche specifically?
Well, I listened to your instructions about the market interview, which was very, very helpful. And I was already pulled to certain women. So I never really made an official Facebook post. It was just more so me going to this, hopping in women's inboxes that I know or that I worked with before, that I just felt really drawn to. And I just knew, like, this is my ideal client. So I still, through that method, I still did about 10 or 12 market interviews. And they all said the same thing. Like, there's something holding me back in my business. I know I'm amazing, but I don't know why I can't just get over this block. And so it took me about 3 or 4 weeks. I just kept on peeling away. And then I posted in your group, and it gave me encouragement, because it made me not realize I don't have to be hard on myself to figure this niche out. Like, it might take some time.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, oh my God, Jessica, you are a shame. You call yourself a shame expert. Like,
it's right in front of you.
Right in front of my face.
Yeah.
And so now my niche officially is I help passionate entrepreneurs permanently eliminate their shame so that they can fully thrive in their life and business. And everyone that comes to me, that is their story. They want to fully thrive. They want to move on and stop procrastinating or stop playing so small, and realizing that I have a block, but I don't know what it is. Can you help me remove it?
Yeah. What's that like now to be working with, I guess, business owners like yourself to actually move probably or remove one of the biggest things that's going to stop them from having success?
It is amazing. Like, I love to see everybody win. I love to see, like, when one of my clients said, I bought this and I know I'm buying it because I know I'm going to charge what I'm worth. I'm not going to second guess it. It just gives me so much pleasure, and just joy to see people really striving. And one of my biggest things is, and not just in their business, but just feeling more confident, improving their family relationships. I love when my clients say my relationships with my children improve because of your program. So I don't know. One of my friends called me what did she call me? A trauma healer and a love dealer or something like that.
I love that. I'm going to trademark that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so I just want to deal love, and I just want everyone to win, and it feels good that I can be a part of that, and essentially raise the frequencies of the universe is what I like to think of it as. And look, I just got a strategy call booked.
There we go. As we're talking, just like that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's systems for you. So you can be doing other things like talking to me and still booking strategy calls. That's systems.
Yeah.
So moving forward, I mean, you've just gone past the 2-month mark. What does your day look like now? Now that you're working for yourself, you're not working for a boss or an agency. What does your day look like? Give someone like behind the scenes tour of like what it's like to be an entrepreneur in your position.
Yes. It feels amazing, and it gives you drive because it's almost like this is all I have. And I feel really good because, and I had to learn through past mistakes and stuff, but I feel like I'm in really good balance with self-care. Like, I don't push myself too much. I'm not too hard. If I don't finish something tonight because I need to go take a walk and get fresh air, then I'm going to do that. So I'm not like in this constant go, but I'm still doing just the right amount to still be consistent and have this overflow. And self-care is important because, Scott, if I run and crash and burn, there's not going to be RTT shame experts to help people. So that makes me feel good that I feel like I have a great balance with self-care, and just being excited. I remember I used to hate Mondays, and I remember seeing a post that said, if you hate Mondays, you're not doing what you love. And I'm like, whatever. But Mondays really are my favorite. Like, it's like the start to the week. I can plan my week and all that. So it's really awesome, and it teaches you just more discipline. I used to shy away from money. I didn't like it. I didn't want to look at my bank account, but now I have to do that. I have to stay in balance, and it makes you feel empowered knowing that it's all coming from you. So it is a wonderful feeling that I can stay home because I can run a 100% virtual RTT practice, and I can stay home. I can have the freedom. Oh, it just feels so free. My parents recently moved to Mississippi, which is about a 9-hour drive for me. And to know, before I could only go down there for maybe a week if I took off and I planned. Not sometimes not even that. Now I can still spend a whole month down there and still do exactly what I'm doing here, making money, and that is incredible in itself.
Yeah, no boss to speak to. Just do what you want. Which is awesome. So what was at stake here if this didn't work for you? Because the investment to do RTT or any therapy or any coaching course is expensive. There's a lot that goes into it. What was at stake here if this didn't work? What do you think you'd be doing right now?
I would not have the income that I have right now. My income would have been drastically reduced still.
Yeah.
Because what happened is I could see clients, but I can only see them online. And so when you see clients online, that took away from my, when I did visits. Sometimes I would pick up the child and go take them to their mom so that they can have family time. That was out the question. When you're online, kids can only hold attention for so long. So where I could be charging up for 2 hours of being with them doing activities or whatever, now I was only charging 45 minutes. So that's what made my income drastically reduced with Corona. So it would have still looked like that. I would have been consistently cut $3,000 to $4,000 short every month.
Wow.
So that's what would have been at stake, and just my happiness. Like I was getting to the point where I love my kids, and some of those kids I spent over 2 years with.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fulfilling. And I had this epiphany that, you know, they say social workers, therapists, they get burnt out easily, but I don't think that's the case. We only get burnt out because we're in a specific role that is underpaid and that is not fulfilling. But still walking in this passion of doing the helping work and doing the therapist, I don't think the burnout rate will be so high if you can be fulfilled like I am currently.
I love it. Do you think you're having a bigger impact now on your clients and I guess the world now doing what you're doing now?
Most definitely. Even too, Scott, just showing up and doing my live. So many people reach out and say, you don't know how much just your lives have impacted me going Facebook Live. And so just having that tunnel vision and cutting out all the dead noise and saying, this is what I'm doing, and everything that I do, it just speaks that. Now I know my niche. Is easy for me to show up with confidence and tell the person at the store or walking on the street, yeah, I'm an RTT hypnotherapist and this is what I do. And people, oh my God, they're sending their families, they're sending their kids to me, their husbands to me. And it's like, this is amazing. So it's definitely took my platform, like, oh my God. And I had an international client all the way in Belgium.
Wow.
And I live in little old Indianapolis. It's about 3 hours from Chicago. So it's definitely reaching, and it just feels really, really good.
Yeah, and look, you're doing this all from your Facebook page. There's no ads, no funnels, no marketing costs. You're doing this all from targeting people, giving them what they want, giving them the solution they're looking for at a price that suits you economically, and they see the tremendous value in it. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that.
No, not at all. It is like, oh my God, like I don't even have overhead, really. Like,
it's crazy, isn't it?
It's not there. And I don't even have my website is in the process of being worked on. I don't even have that yet. And I'm like, wow, like I'm still doing this all through Facebook. So your program is definitely amazing. And that's what you do. Like, I'm going to show you how you utilize your Facebook and max it out. And that's what I did. And it's like all the difference in the world.
And you're only 60 days in. This is nothing in the grand scheme of where your business will be for the longevity. This is 2 months in.
Yes. And I'm even looking forward now too, because I have workshops. I have classes already put together, already ready to go. So once I get in the hang of this, I want to do this a little bit more. And then I want to come back on and I will look at that group online, because that's my next thing. And I can't wait for that. And it made me feel so good when you said, congratulations, I'll be here with you every step of the way, even when you see your first million. Yep. And I believe that.
I'll be with you. I need someone to celebrate with. So let's do it.
Yeah.
So that was actually my next question. 6 months from now, what do you have planned? What are the goals? What do you have in mind? What are you hoping to do?
6 months from now, I do plan on rolling out being more automatic, having more systems in my business, even more systems than I do now in place. I want to wake up and I want to remove myself a little bit more from my business. I do like private practice, and I do know that that's what I'm supposed to be doing now, but I also can my Healing Your Inner Child workshop is phenomenal. Like I said, I rolled out with it 2017. So my goal is to get that on a webinar platform. People can sign up. They can pay my introductory price, and then they're like, oh my God, this is good. Let me pay her premium price to work with her. So that's where my wheels are turning now. And that's really what I want to see, and not being so, because right now I do see 2 clients a day, about 5 to 4 days a week. So, and it's not a lot, because I could be doing 3 or 4, but I capped it out. So I cannot do 2 more clients a day. Again, my self-care is so important this time around. And my calendar is booked until like July 12th as of now.
What a bad problem to have, right?
Yeah. So that's where I see my business in 6 more months, is more automation, more webinars, me not being so heavily involved and already making that impact that people, they know at this point, you know. And I was talking to my friend, and she was like, girl, you're about to get to the point that you don't even need consultation calls, but people are just going to know what they want, and they're just going to go in your calendar and they're going to book you. So I'm hoping that she's right, because that will be awesome.
Wait till you get to week 6 of the program, because that's exactly what I talk about. It's those additional systems where we take you out of the business, and the business works for you now instead of you being a slave to the business. Automation, that's where it all happens.
Yes, working on your business and not in your business.
Yeah, so it becomes like the 80-20 rule. 20% of your time is on the business, 80% of you is stepping out, just watching what happens and playing around with those systems, those elements. So what would you say? Like, there's going to be entrepreneurs, there's going to be men, women, people just starting out in business watching this. What's the biggest words of advice you have for them?
My biggest words of advice would be to be coachable. And I even told myself, I said, this time around, Jessica, you're going to be absolutely 1,000% coachable. And I was before, but there was still a part of me that maybe thought I knew a little bit more than my coach. But this time I said, nope, I'm listening to everything you have to say. I'm doing exactly as you say. And I did it, and it got the results that I needed it to get. And I will also say, find something that you enjoy, like the niche that you enjoy. Just don't rush and put something together, because if it, you know, you want to get into it, like really take the time to curate that, because for me, that's what's giving me longevity. Like, that's what I know I'm in. I know I'm here to help people with their shame, and to understand how you don't have to endure this big trauma to still have shame. And that's what I want to help people with.
Yeah. I mean,
and two, I hope to, and just being transparent, and I put this on my Facebook page, but I also hope to inspire more Black therapists to become RTT certified. In our culture, in our community, we're not really hip to hypnotherapy. So I know I had a lot of hesitant people like, well, what is she doing? I'm going to be barking like a dog. So I do feel good to be this face, this brown face of healing in this modality, where people in my community, they're not used to seeing. And that makes me feel really good that people are being open to this. And I'm like, I want more Black therapists to become RTT certified. So that is something that's really important to me, and dear and near to my heart as well.
Yeah, this is fantastic. You're making an impact community-wise on yourself. You're on your way to what will be a 6-figure business, then the multiple 6 figures. There's a lot going on with you.
Yes, and I'm excited, and I'm here to receive it all. I'm not going to cut myself short this time. I'm here to receive it all.
Excellent. Well, that is so cool. Jessica, is there anything else you want to add to this for anybody that's watching this? Anything else you want to add?
I would just say, I just want to say thank you, Scott. You're amazing at what you do. I'm super excited for the 2.0 version. If you are watching and are thinking about enrolling in Scott's program, definitely go for it. And the group too, the Facebook group, is definitely a really big support. And not only what I found, not just the support, but I love connecting with RTT peoples and just coaches and healers all around the world.
Yeah.
Like my friend, oh my God, I just think that is so amazing. I'm like, I have friends all around the world that are doing the same thing. It's just growing your network. So that's what I would say. Definitely take the course. And one thing that I always say to myself is just continue to stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I love it. Well, Jessica, thank you so much. A massive congratulations. This is only just the start. I hope you really realize that this is literally just the start for you. And I'm sure we're going to be talking back and forward, celebrating the big times ahead. So thank you so much. I'm going to let you confirm that strategy call that you just got. Congratulations on that. We'll see you over in the group. Thank you so much, Jessica. We'll be speaking very soon. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jessica. Bye-bye.